Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I am the host of Intelligent Luxury. My computer is a little slower. So it's an older computer. I purchased an older computer, but it was new. It's a new old computer. Today, I listened to Mayor de Blasio in a press conference, and he talked about many different things or subjects. So I've been talking slowly just to make sure I'm not repeating anything bad said by someone that doesn't work for me. So, open streets. So as I worked in New York City, I noticed that there was open streets. So Mayor Bloomberg was mayor, and he started opening the streets to walk. And it's really nice to be able to walk in New York City in any weather and to even sit on the seats. And maybe we can clean seats, or maybe you can purchase or rent seats. I didn't want to say rent seats. I did not. I just wanted to say maybe we can bring our own seats and sit in open spaces. It's really great to sit in the middle of the street and walk, or maybe eat lunch. So I really like the open streets program or policy or ideas. And I know that even if, I work close to Central Park, it's great to walk around Central Park during lunchtime and you can eat lunch. And it's really great to eat lunch. And one of the places that I love to eat lunch is wherever I eat lunch. I usually love to eat like fish, like salmon or spinach, and if I can pay for it, or even a salad, and having different ingredients in a salad. So that's really good. I'm gonna eat some lunch, or any types of vegetables, and fish or chicken, or even pork sometimes. It was really interesting listening to Mayor de Blasio talk about the open spaces. And I don't know if I wrote about open spaces, but other people have written about the open spaces in New York City. And it's really, really, really a great place to meet and your friends. Especially at, certain parks, they have tables and chairs. So if you Google the parks, New York City parks, you'll be able to learn which parks where you could sit and have tables, and even maybe if you have your own table. And then we love sitting in restaurants, like where Michael Jordan had a restaurant in Grand Central Terminal. Maybe he'll open up another restaurant somewhere in New York City. So I love watching PBS and the Create channel. And if you go to pbs.org, you can learn more about the PBS channel. And then I love, Free People's Clothes. So let's talk about, that I'm a White House correspondent, and I also report for the New York, I also am a reporter for the New York City Mayor's office. So I do need sponsors in order to travel to the Mayor's office, in order to cover a few press conferences, maybe one a week, and then also a few, maybe, or a month, or once in a while, and then also maybe sponsors for when I travel to the White House to cover specific events that I want to cover, or also maybe sometimes to travel, not with the president, but to travel to where the president is located, and to talk to the business executives and entrepreneurs or employees or staff that usually the presidents visit, or whoever they visit while they're on the road traveling, to speak to people about policies and programs that the government wants to start or implement for people. I love Free People's Clothes, and I have a shirt similar to this shirt that's made by Free People. And then I have my designer bra from Kmart. So, and then my earrings are from Kmart. So if y'all vendors for Kmart, do you make clothes and apparel and accessories for Kmart? Maybe you should make clothes and apparel for Kmart or Kohl's. Or eyeglasses, like Medicaid. So it's happy to be on Medicaid because you can stay on budget and you don't go to prison. So you can travel whenever you want, right? If you're on Medicaid. So let's talk about Bloomingdale's. Are you a supplier for Bloomingdale's? Ladies, are we creating apparel and accessories for Bloomingdale's? And maybe you can contact Bloomingdale's if you want to know how to be a supplier for Bloomingdale's. So I watched CNBC too today, and I like watching CNBC. So, and then let's think about, we're going to talk about and discuss just Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. And then we're going to discuss maybe a read and Michael Jordan. Today we're going to cook salmon and vegetables. Okay, so it's a great way if any of you all want to use on Facebook. Maybe you can broadcast. It's really good. So I'm adding orange juice to the salmon. You know what? It's so much fun to have fun in. I think I learned from my things about yourself all day. So if you're having a bad day, let's say, sing a happy song. Just say, wow. So I think to myself, or say to myself, Stephanie, it's really nice. We're going to talk about Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan always, when he is entertaining people, he has a smile. Mom, really nice lady, has a smile. I mean, sometimes we don't smile when we're a little scared people, but that's alright. So we have our orange juice. And things. So, just maybe one day, maybe a few seconds. And prayerfully, they'll be able to flush the system, like the fire department system, which may cause flooding in certain homes. I don't know. And then also, sometimes people will scare you, and you don't want them to scare you because you don't want to accidentally murder them, and you don't want them to become angry and kill you. So you can fire people for any reason, anytime, usually I think in New York State, especially for insubordination. But be careful when you fire people, and sometimes you can call security or the police when you fire people from their job if they are violent. So let's talk about Michael Jordan's restaurants. So I Googled Michael Jordan's restaurants. And he has several different restaurants. And some of the restaurants may be open for delivery or pickup, or just pickup. Or to pick up food. So y'all can Google. He has 2 restaurants in Connecticut, or 2 restaurants in the state of Illinois, and 1 restaurant in the state of Washington. And there are Nike shoes. So we love the Anna Wintour A-Walk Air Jordan Nike shoe that I believe is available. So it could be available in stores or online. And then also we're waiting for the Christian Dior shoe, maybe. Could be in stores or online by the Jordan brand. And then also, there are Nike shoes for people that want to wear Nike apparel. So sometimes, we're working, and sometimes I'm thinking. And if you travel to Nike.com, you can click on the Air Jordan image, brand image, and you'll be able to click on that. And also Nike has Converse, has apparel for men and women, and has apparel for women. So they have running apparel, training and gym apparel, basketball apparel, Jordan apparel, soccer apparel and accessories, tennis, maybe some accessories, track and field, slides and sandals, skateboarding apparel, softball apparel and accessories, and shoes. So sometimes they have either apparel or accessories, or apparel and accessories. And they have pants and tights for women, sports bras, tops and t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, jackets, swimwear, and plus size apparel for Nike, and yoga, socks, running, golf. So we love the Tiger Woods collection. So it would be great when we can go to the Tiger Woods collection. But even, I don't know, can you watch Tiger Woods while you're playing golf at another golf course, or walking to exercise, or just walking? So I love going to Dick's Sporting Goods to purchase, purchase golf apparel. I'm sorry, I think I purchased golf apparel from Nike.com. I don't know where my shirt is located. I think my mom took my shirt. But it's a Nike golf shirt. And then also I have a tennis dress, just a Nike tennis dress. So maybe one day I can wear. I just need a special type of bra. So I need a bra that has the shape of a Y or an X to wear the dress. So I have to wait and get that type of bra. Even though I purchased new bras now. We're cooking our salmon with orange juice, and we're gonna add Worcestershire sauce. And I read the New York Times food section, and for some reason, just wanted to add Worcestershire sauce. So it's Worcestershire sauce. So this is a relaxing show. We're gonna relax and talk very slowly. Don't we love Southern men with Southern accents, or just men with accents who talk slowly? Don't we love that? We love it. My step-grandfather had a Southern accent. He's my step-grandfather, but yet he babysat me a lot, so that's the only reason why. He had money. He was an old guy. nice old people parents. They give you money, right? But also, you just want to be nice, right? It's nice to be nice. We're gonna add sun-dried tomatoes, so we can use our fork. And these sun-dried tomatoes are from like a vegetable and fruit convenience store. And you can buy sun-dried tomatoes that are in olive oil. So you can purchase those types of sun-dried tomatoes. So I love this knife, and I use this knife. So, you know, we're on a budget. We may increase our budget, and then we can use. So it's really great. Remember to have an alarm system, maybe, but always background check your alarm systems, workers and companies, if you are able to. But we sometimes can't afford to background checks. Does anyone have a way that we can maybe have a list of people we want to background check at the police department, because they're expensive. So we're slicing our sun-dried tomatoes. And we are, that's Nike. So, you know, I have my Nike golf shirt. It's a ladies golf shirt, and my Tiger Woods ladies golf shirts. Kobe. So then I was like, oh, in the summer it would be great to wear a Kobe Lakers dress, or maybe even Magic Johnson, just to represent different players. Because, you know, Magic Johnson's an old guy, and I met him, and he was, when I was like young in like elementary school, he was playing. So we're boiling our, I thought I was boiling it. We're gonna boil our minute wild rice with beans, and I rinse the beans and put them back into the can. So these are dark red kidney beans from some company called Best Yet. So luxury is about living in luxury, being nice, and, you know, listening to Kenneth Edmonds. So I added almost half a can to the water, and we're going to boil that for about 20 minutes. We're going to add our sun-dried tomatoes to our refrigerator, and, you know, it's great. I don't know why I always crack the refrigerator when I clean the refrigerator. And we have our string beans that we washed. And these are nice string beans. These are fresh string beans. You can buy frozen string beans. And we kind of take off the ends. And we can add them to our frying pan. And then we're going to add Cola Vita olive oil. And just add a few string beans. Make sure that these are not brown, and that they have the end, and then we snap them. Sorry, I love snapping the string beans. And we're not gonna eat them all. Let's see here. This is good. You can kind of cut off the end if it's brown after you wash them. Sometimes you can wash your vegetables in vinegar. Then you have a Spanish red purple onion. Cut off the end, and then we can peel it. And we're going to cut it in half and take off the first layer with a knife. So if I'm preparing food, don't cook it. I'll probably have someone else cook and serve the food. I'll just show you how it's cooked. But I don't have a lot of hard drive space, so I'm using Facebook Live. So this is working out well for me. It's very good to use Facebook Live or YouTube Live. That way, video takes up a lot of data space. So it's always great to work on a budget. And, you know, we really just need money to travel, meet new people, and wear inexpensive, interesting apparel and accessories, right? And then we go to a basketball game, or we watch from home, where we can don't drink and drive alcohol, and we can drink alcohol over 21 if we're watching the basketball game. Ooh, so these Spanish onions, my eyes are... And we're going to add, this is just the outside of the onion, or the skin. And anything that's not skin, we'll just add. And we don't have to add oil to our vegetables. Just cook it on low, where we are. I'm just going to add a tablespoon. But I guess, yeah, I just want to cook these sun-dried tomatoes. We're going to add red wine vinegar from Best Yet. We can use white vinegar, balsamic vinegar, any type of vinegar you want to use. You want the sun-dried tomatoes to cook. Remember, we're going to cook. There's a timer on this oven, and you can place the timer on your oven. Isn't it great to be happy? You know, always don't be afraid to make new friends and be happy, and you'll lose weight, maybe, or gain weight if you want to gain weight, and you'll just be happy, being happy in life. So it's alright if you're not perfect, according to someone else, because they're not perfect. And we talk about the shoes. So we talk about the Jordan shoes, and let's talk about the shoes he wore in The Last Dance. Now let's talk about The Last Dance and the 10-part series. And they have, they may be able to, you may be able to order those shoes, maybe on Nike.com, if they are being promoted to be sold. Or maybe, I know at the Garden State Plaza Mall, the Westfield Garden State Plaza, we just smile, we go there, we go to the Nike, I think it's the Nike store, maybe Foot Locker, where I thought that where you could design the shoe. So I don't know if you can, I think you can design your own shoe. So tell them you want the retro shoe, and they may be able to design it for you wherever they are able to put the design a shoe for you inside the store. So I thought that was really nice. And then there's a Nike store at Bergen, the town, the shops at Town Bergen Center, somewhere there on Route 4, near the shops of Nanuet. So it's so interesting. I was in that mall prior to it becoming the town center. It was such a small mall that I had an event at with CBS Radio, and then now it's a large mall with Bobby Flay's, and he has great hamburgers that cheeseburgers that you can eat with potato chips and blue cheese on the hamburger. So it's a really nice place. There's an Ulta there, which is a freestanding store. I don't know if there's any leasable space available, but you have to contact that shopping center. Isn't that great? I didn't want to talk about the Bergen Town Center, so I remember never going there. I've always been to the Westfield Garden State or the Paramus Park Mall, or driving maybe to the Short Hills Mall, which is a nice mall, and sometimes the Willowbrook Mall. If it's not raining, maybe? I don't know. The outlets at Bergen Town Center. So that's a good place to have a Target. And I may be an independent publisher, Target advertisements, and I may sometimes earn commission. Then, with outlets at the Bergen Town Center, they have a directory. And it's great to talk about this REIT. It's a REIT, and a REIT owns it. So the outlets at Bergen Town Center, I want to talk about 24-hour fitness. So I learned about 24-hour fitness from Derek Jeter after I was conducting research about him to write an article. After I interviewed him, I was like, oh, it'd be great to go to 24-hour fitness. So I've been to the Derek Jeter 24-hour fitness clubs. I don't know if they're still there, or maybe they're moving, or maybe he's opening up his own clubs. But I thought they were really nice. And then you can get in your car with a towel and go home and shower. That's me, because I'm not from New York City. And then they have an Adidas outlet store. They have a Bahama Breeze Island Grill. So that looks great. I like Caribbean cuisine. They have a Bloomingdale's fine outlet store. So that was fun to walk around, and they have things on sale. Then, Century 21 stores. I worked for the corporate office of Century 21 stores. So that was great. We talked about Chase yesterday, and business banking, and e-commerce, and the e-commerce services they offer to merchants. And then also I may have worked for Chico's. They may have advertised on my site in the past and pay me commission and/or. So then we love CVS, and maybe we can talk about how to have luxury products in specific CVS pharmacies, and why we love going to the pharmacies, that sell luxury products like beauty and cosmetics. So I like to wear cosmetics. So I like wearing different cosmetics. So then you have the European Wax Center. And so that's interesting about the European Wax Center is it safe to go there? I'm sure it's safe, but I think they don't use wax. They use kind of like Nair for hair. And I think you can use Nair too. I think they use Nair there. But maybe it's easier to use the European Wax Center. And then you have Express at the outlets at Bergen Town Center. Then you have a Jared, the Gallery of Jewelry. So, and you have K Jewelers outlet, and Kirkland's Your Home Decor store, and Land's End. Don't we all like Land's End? And if you need money, maybe you can go to Lincoln Tech there. And then there's a Lowe's. So Lincoln Tech is a great place to learn about different technology. And I laugh because Lowe's has plants, and maybe they have your vegetable plants, your house plants, your flower plants for your garden. Even though it may be cold this weekend, maybe you can start planting them in your planters, or your planters that we purchase at Lowe's or other home stores. And then there's the Marshalls. And then there's a Massage Envy. Do y'all want to own a Massage Envy? They have franchisees. And Neiman Marcus Last Call, great store. And then the Nike factory store. And then I always love also Nordstrom Rack. And then they have Olive Garden. I don't think I've been to the Olive Garden. And then they have a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. So. We have our salmon cooking, and it's completely cooked. Maybe not. And then you can add a little garlic powder and a little more vinegar. Or red wine vinegar. So it's good. It's so good. My mom's such a better cook, so sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll just add a little vinegar. Things get a little brown, but thank God not burnt. Don't want to burn my mother's pots. Pots are expensive. So I need my own pots. Then I'll try not to burn my own pots. But it's right. It's so nice to be nice and happy, and this is a great time to be happy right now. Just learning and practicing cooking and culinary arts. And that's what the Intelligent Luxury Culinary Literary and Sociality Trade Show would be about. Culinary arts, reading while cooking, reading cookbooks, reading how to cook, reading after cooking if you don't have anyone to eat lunch or dinner with, because some crazy person's talking. Adding garlic powder, and they have a Skechers store, so that's good. At Saks Fifth Avenue off 5th. Oh, so I guess was teaching me a lesson. So Subway, Target, I know you all are looking, and maybe those that can't afford realtors, you really need to try to background check people before you move into their apartment. You don't know if they're an ex-convict or a current convict that someone's trying to protect, or some type of criminal informant. And I don't believe criminal informants are protected by the cops unless they can get, I don't know. But you have Tommy Hilfiger, or should they be? But the law may have changed since I've attended school. So U.S. Polo Association, Valley National Bank, and Whole Foods Market. So I love the Whole Foods Market. It had great food there, and preferably we could just purchase Indian cuisine and the Caribbean food that they have, from behind the counter. It's good to employ people, talk to people about whatever you want to talk about. It's good talking to people. I actually talk to people around people that I'm not scared of. So, no diss, just happiness. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about The Last Dance on ESPN. Isn't it great to see everyone talk and talk about, don't stalk anybody, when you meet a celebrity. Don't stalk anyone. Don't stalk anyone. So lucky I'm not a stalker, and lucky you are not. But if you feel like you have a problem, maybe you can talk to someone. And they do have psychiatrists online if you feel like you're going to stalk someone. But remember, celebrities meet a lot of people, and they may not remember you. So I guess if you are not in need of a job, there might not be, or a client, you may not need to talk to celebrities on the street. So it's really good to do that, right? So then apparel. Let's talk about the Last Dance. And Michael Jordan dresses really well, right? So, just because your parents are wealthy doesn't mean that they should give you money. Or maybe some people have other issues, like me. maybe just need more money to exercise and time. So some people use their time reading. I think I read, and then I don't have enough time to talk about Mix-ish on ABC. Nice show, right? We all love Saved by the Bell. So we love to Saved by the Bell, and I was happy to meet Slater one day. I was happy because when I was a teenager, when Saved by the Bell was on, so studying on Saturday morning, reading, cleaning, watching Saved by the Bell. It's great. It's a great show that sometimes I watch. It is really interesting. They have African American characters, Latino character. It's a really good show. But that's why I watch Mix-ish. So, and that's a good show about that. So, then we have Mr. Bob Johnson. Let's talk about RLJ companies. We're gonna go to the website, so you can use our Google Chrome web browser, Mozilla maybe. That's open source, and it's open source. You can use Yahoo web browser owned by Verizon, maybe. And then there's Microsoft Bing. So I like using that too. Then we have the RLJ Lodging Trust and RLJ Equity Partners, RLJ Entertainment, and really interesting that I was thinking about Afro-British society, and I always love talking about culture and society, especially like customs and products and services like apparel, accessories, food, beverages of different nations. So then Acorn TV and British TV Acorn TV is British TV and is owned by Mr. Robert Johnson, and then he owns the Urban Movie Channel. So what's really interesting, if you travel to RLJ Entertainment, can you watch the movies? But I know that he has a lot of different movies from different cultures on there. That's funny. It was really funny. And Agatha Christie, don't you like reading Agatha Christie? I think I've read an Agatha Christie novel, but I don't read a lot of Agatha Christie's. And I don't read a lot of Sherlock Holmes, but I've read a Sherlock Holmes novel. And then Dr. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote a novel about Sherlock Holmes. So I think that's interesting. So let's talk about this Mercedes-Benz dealership is in Alabama, and our salmon is completely done. And we can just kind of slide off the white fat of the salmon. We can keep it on low before we eat it. Then we have air. I just have to move slow, Mom. You know, my mom is really intelligent, and I am intelligent. And we're mixing, and our vegetables are cooked. And we just need to cook our rice and beans, our brown rice and beans, and red kidney beans. And so I like to mix my brown rice with my Haitian food and the rice that they make at different restaurants, because they make really good rice at Haitian restaurants. And I just like to mix in my little brown rice when I have it, with just a little bit more beans. That tastes amazing. And then I had to learn how to use it because sometimes I'm not in New York State, and then maybe if I'm moving or somewhere else, I can make it for myself. Or maybe he could franchise, like Golden Crust Maker. Or maybe have a restaurant group where he owns all of the Haitian restaurants, or she, in different states. So let's talk about Disney World. So I watched the former, I believe, Chief Operations Officer of Disney World, and I'll talk about it maybe another time, but BET used to plan events at Disney World, and I used to watch that on BET, the cable channel that was founded by Bob Johnson. But I was like, does he have a lot of shares in CBS? So I thought maybe he could be the CEO, even though the current CBS CEO, I'm sure, is doing an excellent job. So then I was like, oh, I wonder if I could plan events at Disney World. I've never been to Disney World. Which is alright, because I was probably in the summer at Girl Scout camp, where we were on the lake, canoeing, and walking around in a park. It's like a park, so there weren't any animals really, except, I don't know, birds or whatever. But just walking around, and we learned different things that we learned as a Girl Scout. So I was like, oh, I don't know where all my badges are, because I think all my badges are in storage, but we had to move. And we had to move in. I hope they don't take my badges. And then, so anyway, I think about Disney because I was conducting research about Walt Disney and ABC. And then I was like, oh, Mr. Cuban. Mr. Cuban owns the Dallas Mavericks. So, I love writing about the sport, the businesses and the nonprofit organizations of the athletes, because, everyone that attended college or didn't attend college or grew up with any sort of athlete, and if they become professional, that they are interested in being philanthropic and also conducting business and owning a business. So maybe it's good to have your name and own a business just to, in an office, just to be able to be an agent, go to law school or to school of medicine. Now we're boiling our rice and beans, and Mark Cuban is a venture capitalist. So I was thinking about all that, about hosting maybe an event at Disney World for people, African American people, European people, people who like to read. So... and then I was thinking about that because I was like, oh, Michael Strahan works for ABC, and he had a show on Instagram, so I think I follow him on Instagram. And on Instagram, I have a private account on Instagram, and on Instagram, I follow him, and then I have a public account, Intelligent Luxury Magazine. And you can follow that if you are blocked. So, I like Michael Strahan on Instagram cooking. He had a nice kitchen, so I said, Mom, I think we can move. We just have to move maybe to another town. So it's all right, because it's very, very competitive to get a home in a town. Sometimes you can't get the home that you want in the town that you want, but it's really, really good that we can move, be happy, and maybe travel to this town frequently because it may be a nice town. So let's talk about Marriott. Let's play the Eagles, or we'll continue to play Kenneth Edmonds. Hey Google, play the Eagles. So we like the music, the Eagles.
Google Play Music.
I wanted to play music, and I like playing music without profanity. So... and then maybe we'll talk about Porcelanosa, which is on Route 17, I believe. And I like driving by there, but I've never actually been in the store. And that's Porcelana on North Route 17, North Route 17. And on North Route 17, there are more stores for, I guess, locals. So I read a press release today about Marriott International ranks #1 on Diversity Inc.'s Top 50 list. So that means that they love diversity, especially, apply to work at a Marriott maybe, but then also you can also, if you want to own a Marriott, manage property, and maybe it would be great able to handle reservations, and then talk with them about, any questions that you have. You can ask the people about owning a Marriott. And I actually met the owner of Diversity Inc., a nice man. So it's really great. It's actually, I may have applied to, I didn't want to say that, to several different magazines, and I may have met people at different types of events for journalists or for the public that feature journalists. And then as you meet people, I say, oh, maybe I didn't get the job because there's only so many uh, jobs for so many people. I said, maybe as I work at another company that hired me, I will have my own business. So it's great. And then the company that is in your employer can also be your client. And then you write an invoice and use PayPal. So it's great to use PayPal to invoice, but even I designed or created my own invoice on Microsoft Word, Google Docs. Don't be ashamed if you have free things, donate it. That means you're on budget. That means you're not robbing people, burglarizing people, hurting people for money. It's all right. If you did it in the past, but maybe people want you to go to prison just to be safe and not have any type of injuries, head injuries or bodily. See? How do you handle threats from employees? So I said, I should take a graduate course in how to handle firing employees if they are violent or some types of threats. But maybe not, you have to be careful with the language that you use. You know, even your bosses can accidentally threaten to kill you. Like, I'll kill you if you print another piece of paper. You know. So then also using your phone and holding your phone is great. So let's talk about Marriott. And maybe Barcelona is a supplier for Marriott. Maybe you can be a supplier of tile, of interior design services, or interior design products for Marriott. Maybe you can be a public relations or marketing person. Maybe because maybe the owner of a Marriott managed property is your ethnicity or has shares your ideologies about life. So you out there who I like, I'm talking to, Porcelanosa. Distance makes us stronger. Let the distance bring us together. Amen. Isn't it great? I think I might wear masks when I'm out. Because I feel like, what if I accidentally do anything with my own mouth, you know? And then my gloves, I don't need to wear a glove, but I can. So maybe if someone's shopping, you have a cold, or prevent allergies from, sometimes I'm allergies. So let's talk about, all right, so we have Marriott. Remember, I know it takes a lot of time to read press releases and write them and edit your stories. So if you want to be in the press, just send a press release. Everything will be fine. And maybe, people need more email space. So we're going to add our rice and beans. And this is brown rice, red rice, wild rice, and we have our salmon. And the salmon is, you can remove the skin, but the skin just right there. And we have our nice luxury paper plate. And we have the salmon. And we have vegetables. Isn't this great? So let's talk about Marriott as we eat. going to talk about Marriott and how they manage properties. And it's on my website, Intelligent Luxury Magazine. I really love, if you're born with anything, with not a lot of money, it's great to say, even if you have parents who are wealthy, you have to learn to live on a small budget in case there's a war, in case there's an epidemic, in case of a fire. You just really need to save. So it's really great that maybe there's properties in other continents or nations that you can maybe purchase and travel to. And I laugh when people laugh like, oh, you're wearing cheap clothes. If the cheap clothes are good cheap clothes,